My country people them, when I listen to this audio, be patient, listen to the audio right to the end. When I go understand the level of Ambazonia terrorists, their frustration.
My dear Sukamisians and the people of Ambazonia by extension, because you don't show now say they will message and then they end all over Sukamif, but people in the way they want use the message and like say they want blackmail, but where he find as they even play that game. So it be very simple. The guy they want to say they don't feel unite and they don't feel break their groups. So we get one option for hand now. The same way we use them for put Ambazonia struggle for limelight. Now the same way we use them now for report all the individuals and the crimes the way they be verified. So they don't be committed on Ambazonia and for make sure say US congressmen them United Nations Human Rights Committee, all the small unit they for United Nations we go make sure. It just takes like 500 phone calls to make sure and call and put this situation of Ambazonia on the limelight. We never ever call United Nations or call United States Senate or the vote, so we no get representative. But we need to do them now. That's for the way the court consult they say they want to go represent we, they want to go negotiate. We need to make them categorically clear for international community to say no man need to represent we, and now we go do them. So that's what the chases on people they ever for their Brazilian struggle. People they don't call en masse for the report say no man need to represent we, or for report say na Ambazonia they commit crime them, or for report say na Ayabacho kill the person, or for report say na IG kill the person. We don't ever do that work. We have never done that, and that job is very effective. So I don't know. That is a very effective job. Since as well they don't talk say them go build a group them, they work and represent we the people who go represent ourselves for some place. Yes, we need to make it categorically clear to the international community that these are just bunch of terrorists that are abducting and kidnapping our family members and asking ransom. It has been proven. No, until they go reprove it has been proven. Yes, I don't tell they say they want to see me the soup sour. It go sour for all we. Since as well they don't talk say they want youth group them to represent we. We will not vote. They will not elect them. We need to make sure everybody will no get group una set una family they aside. Me any man said he put it aside. Who go provide the question there and the way they will provide the information where everybody the call give them consistently. I mean no man no step out of it talks on different thing no the inside or something no be verified. Yes, now the thing that we will do them, we go take time for proof of the guy they say now either the struggle go the way we want them or the struggle no they at all. Yeah, we go prove for the guidance. So if we continue from the beginning, they talk play, they say, oh, this no, they go address with United Nations, they go do this on behalf of who? On behalf of themselves. But everything that they will say there will try to represent us. But we can represent ourselves. Now why do they open petition for something? Why do they open a petition? They open a petition to see how many people are not involved in all these things that these people are doing. And we can mobilize Ambazonians. Many people they don't like them to talk about the struggle. They don't choose to not talk anything about the struggle. They are your friends. They will call. We can mobilize Ambazonians in millions, and they will call all these hotlines, and we will have a message to explain to the international community about these guys who are claiming that they are representing us. If these guys they want us, we will go short circuit. We will short circuit the struggle. We will short circuit this thing. Because according to them, they say, Mu continue to stay quiet, Mu continue to listen to them, Mu continue to listen to their music play, Mu continue to dance to that tone. We don't tell they say no. Everybody don't say and say that one a tone like maybe we dance they have we. If they don't resist, say no, we tone must play. Okay, we go do the same thing. What we use them to put this struggle on top of the map. We'll use that same thing, put them on top map, but not in a positive way. Not in a positive way. We will use that same thing. All that information, all that said, all that thing, and so we will put it somewhere for the international community to hear. If not, we know where for the guy that hand. Because as they make it so, we talk, they change, they play, they change for they play and play so until we reach that level before they go understand. At least this time around, they don't talk to a lot of people they talk because if we talk anything about they will say, oh, like people, like, this time around will not be like the public.
Good morning, comrade from my end. Good morning, Master. The year not to read the way they go for this. These people them, these IG people them, these IG people them, they so that means they don't see say they don't see say now where Trump don't come for power, so things don't go nya. They already start to push now for unity. Side they run the sing that unity. So they turn us say unity now. Much the other guy we call in nation now waiting now who where the work for he said the work for run a restoration council now waiting. That means say that mean all them they castigate Ayaba because I not gonna expect this man for can they praise Fabiola. Praise Fabiola say, oh, Fabiola is doing a good job. For can read Christian will let away the call for unity, blah blah blah. I said, why they pressurize the unity thing na only the time where they don't go lock Ayabacho? Why? This is not because when you see that other meeting where they be preach about unity, where they be talk about lockdown. For that 2 weeks lockdown where Ayabacho be told that meeting, Ayabacho the tribe of confusion will tell him the lockdown not be for 2 weeks. Ayabacho did not come out for that meeting. Now the reason that they don't pressurize now say me they go lock Ayabacho, and then when they call now for collaboration, unity among all the way Ayabacho no go there for that meeting. Now they will be very easy for we to just submit. We go just submit everything for La Republic. So these people then they get a game where they plan, very big game, very smart game. So they think now for just make ground zero, for educate ground zero very well. So upon all the killing where they don't kill people them, upon this destruction where La Republic don't destroy Ambazonia, burn houses, how many one are found already houses, villages. And then picking the way innocent one they kill and burn someone them for house alive, burn mommy them, burn papa them for house alive. Now the people they want to go for one and indivisible Cameroon. Master, this no go work. Better no make that unity no. No make egg of see no even just make an attempt. We just try to educate the fighters and then provide them everything necessary where they need them. Because these people they will not take us for full. They will not take we for full. Upon that massive killing where they don't kill and destruction, Master, they think the vex me go past. If the vex me go past, bro.
The way forward now, Ambazonia they will start from their communities. We don't care the number. What we care about are Ambazonians emanating from their communities and getting a focused pathway. That is the message. Now, so it is. No one unity. Move collaborate. Cosmetic collaboration. Not only collaborate, how long, how far? We hear the other time saying Christian will be collaborate with Ayaba.
From any audio I the listener from all these camps them where they call themselves government or group, toughest group for the revolution. Only this small mobilization don't make and they tremble. So I the things that the last kick this we will need for create these communities and for real, because it will help heal some people their way, their mindset. We don't say for the revolution, may anything happen, they know did again. But we realize that she don't only how we put a gather. They talk now in one mob. America talk Senam, Canada talk Senam, Europe talk Senam, all those people the United States. Yeah, you see how everything will start be reshaped. Some people will start be healed from the bitterness where they begin and the anger where they begin for the revolution. So I strongly believe say make we hold this thing firm. Seriously, Fabiano, this way he talks so. It make him at least Mandy look and say, it's just like preaching, just like gospel. Where you don't go spread gospel for people them around. And they come for church or for crusade. One can they see and say all things they happen now they will wait, all things all now be agreed. Everybody will be happy. The quorum start from there. Church start back. You see and say even the fighters, even the people on ground zero, they go reorganize themselves, reignite the struggle. Look how people on ground zero they sacrifice. If I tell you now, there are a lot of places inside our land we fighters not did it, but now people they decided to choose what if for look. No colonial administration, they need fear not colonial administration. Yes, then we no go look at like some privilege for a reignite the struggle. What does on put the come here, they make noise. Fabiano, more push the agenda, go better.
My brother Fabiano, I support this motion. All the collaborative efforts we don't make them in the past, it don't be now window dressing. People go claim say that they collaborate among themselves, yet they go take decision individually with their group without the consent of the others where they claim for the collaborate with. I remember the other time they go which conference they go agree for this. It may no individual group not take decision way. It may not take decision way go affect the entire nation or the entire country. Where tell the other ones them. Where inform them. Yet we still come back, we still see and say so groups they see they take such actions, such unilateral decision without the courtesy of telling the others. Collaboration never ever be successful even for once. They will come for collaborative meeting, they go back go do different thing. Even when they go even sign or whatever, they never work. So when they forget about that collaboration, what we need now total unity. Now one Ambazonia day, now one people we get now one enemy. Any group, any person, any other individual or group where they reject unity, make it know say that group they get ulterior motives, they get something where they hide, or they get something where they fight for benefit from. Now the bitter through that. Yes. Thank you, Pa.
Fellow comrades, good day. Today is Sunday, November the 17th, 2024. We have heard from some of our comrades these incessant calls for the various organizations within our liberation struggle to be dissolved. These calls are coming in because they've been a cause for us to come together. And these calls are coming from some of our international friends who see our disunity as being something that needs to be corrected if we have to get through with the quest for the liberation of our homeland. And the more these calls are growing louder, there are some who have taken on this erroneous stance that in order for us to come together, the various structures within our liberation struggle must be dissolved. You know, it is not enough to express a wish. You must also be able to articulate how that wish can be achieved. This idea of people giving conditions for collaboration doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. You see, it is like I'll paint a scenario here. Let's say two brothers woke up in the morning, or say in the middle of the night, and an intruder had broken into their house and was standing there ready to destroy them. But before these two brothers went to bed the previous night, they had a dispute among themselves, and that dispute was not settled. But faced with this intruder who is posing a threat to their own very lives, will it be pragmatic and sensible for these two brothers to say, okay, you wronged me, you must apologize to me before we can then face this intruder who has broken into our house? Would it be a smart thing for these brothers to go down that road by demanding apologies? Or let's say one of them, maybe they had wives or something, and the wife insulted one of the brothers. Then one brother would say, you must go home and divorce your wife, and then come back so we can face this intruder. Will that be a smart thing to do? I'm saying this because when we hear these calls about collaboration, at a time when there are certain things that are really working in favor of our struggle, that things that are time sensitive, which if we should fail to capture this moment, then we may never have that opportunity again. And then people sit there and say, oh, you must first of all dissolve your organization before we can talk about collaboration. And then you ask yourself, are these people really thinking? Are they thinking through about what they are saying? Should we allow ourselves to be devoured by an enemy or a predator because we have unsettled differences? Is this a sensible thing to do, fellow comrades? Does it make any sense at all? Now, in order to tell someone to dissolve their structure or organization, I think it's also important that you must be able to compel them to do so. If you do not have the means to compel them to do so, then your words really don't make and don't mean much. Your words don't mean anything much. So, or else you are just a noise maker. In order to tell someone you have to dissolve your organization, you must have the means to enforce that dissolution of the structure that you are demanding. You see, you know, to be honest, when we talk about dissolving structures, personally, I really don't have any issue with it. If it were possible that someone can just wave a magic wand and it happens, I will be all for it. But let's look at the practical implementation of it. Is it really possible that we'll just get up one day and all of the structures that exist within our liberation movement will be dissolved? Is that an attainable objective? That is what, when we are saying things, we have to look at the possibility of that really happening. Are we just saying things so that people will say, oh, he has said this? Or are we saying that because we know it is achievable? It is an attainable objective. Can we really hope that one day that will happen? You see, as I've said, I really don't have any issue with it. But when you look at the way some of these organizations now function within our liberation struggle, you see, how are you going to compel someone whose source of living is that very organization that he leads or she leads? It's like asking someone to fire themselves. You see, because we know people whose rents are being paid by those who militate under their organizations. We know people whose salaries are paid by those who militate under their organizations. We know people who are leaders who have had cars bought for them. And the list goes on. So these people are not just there for the sole purpose of serving the Amazonian people. They have an added incentive to be there. How are you going to compel these people now to dissolve those structures? That is the question. Because it's not enough to just say something. Visualize the actual implementation of what you are saying. You know? The problem is this: until you are able to remove that incentive, which is causing that person to hang on to it, that person will not willfully dissolve their organization. That person or persons will not willfully dissolve their organization until you remove that incentive, which is causing them to resist doing what you are telling them to do. You see, I also think that it is only fair that when we are making these calls, that maybe it's also good to respect the same chronology with which these structures were created. So I would suggest that we start with the Sisiku structure. Let the Sisiku structure take the lead and dissolve. And then followed by the Sako. And of course, Marianta, if I thought Marianta is still existing, and then Cristiano. And when we talk about this, what about the other structures? What about egg of C? Are we talking about every structure or only the IGs? That is one other thing I don't understand, because it seems when people are talking about dissolving structure, they are only focused on the IG, as if some of the most heinous crimes against our people have not been committed by any of the IGs. All this change of taxi colors, liberation tax, all this chaos that has been going on Ground Zero, all these things are not caused by any of the IGs. If you ever thought you can call it that, but we know that there's one IG, this so-called mushroom structures out there that people simply carry away and run with. But we know that the most heinous atrocities against our people have not been caused by any of these structures. They've been caused by egg of C. So when we are talking about the dissolution of structures, maybe it is also good to start with those that are causing the most harm to our people. How about that? Again, I would like to come back to the fact that the ability to have an enforcement mechanism to do what you are asking them to do, to be able to compel people to dissolve their organizations, should come first. You must be able to have that ability to compel people to do what you are asking them to do, which is why you have so many of these rogue structures out here, because we are operating in a virtual environment. Somebody just gets up one day and calls himself a leader. Capo then is out there single-handedly calling himself a leader. What are you going to do to tell him to stop it? Because we don't have that enforcement mechanism. And you have to realize the limitations of your ability to compel people to do what you want them to do. And when you realize that, it makes no sense going out there and trying to pronounce things that you cannot actualize. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. However, to those who are making these calls, I have two solutions for you. I have two solutions to propose to those who are calling for the dissolution of IGs or any other structures. And these suggestions are these. Number one, as I've already said, establish an enforcement mechanism that you will use to compel people to do what you want them to do. First of all, have that enforcement mechanism. Once you have that, the rest will be easy. Secondly, you should also establish an alternative structure which will be so perfect that people will naturally gravitate towards it, thus rendering the other structures which you deem unfit useless. If you have an alternative structure that's working so well, because I hear some people talking about the establishments of communities. How about establishing those communities first? Establish those communities. Make sure they are working so well. And so people can see the great things that those communities are doing, and people will naturally gravitate towards it. Or you can then use that to point. You can use the effectiveness of the communities to point to people and say, why are you over there where things are not working? Why don't you come over here where things are being done very well? And people can see probably from your results coming from it, and will naturally gravitate towards the communities. So, simply calling for others to dissolve their structures without providing a better alternative is tantamount to admitting your own limitations at leadership. Yes, it is tantamount to admitting your own limitations at leadership. It is worthy also to understand that the current structures, however dysfunctional, are the only avenues by which Ambazonians can manifest their militancy at this point. That's the only avenue they have by which they can manifest their militancy towards their liberation quest. And therefore, before telling them to abandon these structures, provide them another vehicle. Before calling on them to abandon the vehicle they are in, it may be better to provide a better vehicle. By establishing your communities, as you call it, and make sure they are working well, then ask people to come over. I think that's a better alternative. You see, alternatively, you can also encourage the various vehicles that are driving towards the same destination to work together, helping each other so that we can all arrive at the same common destination. I think that is more pragmatic. You will agree with me that this is a more pragmatic and attainable objective than simply telling people to dissolve their organizations when we don't have the enforcement mechanism to make sure that happens. Now, the choice is yours for those who have been making these calls. The choice is yours. You can pick whichever will work better for you. You see, pick whichever option you think you can achieve. And let's not just speak with emotions. Let's speak with our brains, comrades. Let us speak with our brains and think through the things we are recommending and the probability of success in achieving them before coming down to how to make statements that make us look like we're not thinking. Okay? So that is my advice to those who have been calling for the dissolution of various structures. First, you must have the means to enforce them. Secondly, you must have an alternative that is already tested and proven to be working, so people can gravitate towards. You don't tell people to get off a vehicle just because it's misfiring if they are at least getting somewhere, when you have not provided a better vehicle that will get them faster to their destination. So establish that one first. Once you've got it and it's working well, then tell people to get off the bad vehicle onto the good running vehicle. I think that is more pragmatic to me. All right.
For crying out loud, I think there's some messages from prominent people, it not be what. Because after this, your solution is like, let them do it. Let them do it. Let people who are calling for. So you're not even concerned about the unity, from the way I understand. Seriously, you are not concerned about the unity. I thought if you wanted us to forge together, if you really want a more worker together, you would talk, say, okay, you offer una organization for this, for that, for this. You don't make mention for to really kill this movement. People don't for deficit at your farm and see if they know they struggle. If the struggle die, they are also dead, like physically. They no go chop, they no go get fat again. Yes, they no go be juice, they no go look juicy. As I talk, if the erosion did, a lot of people they go do it, they no go look juicy at all. Yeah. Now we don't talk. Some people don't. So I don't hear some audio for the person can talk say. The disabled dissolve egos because egos don't be now waiting. We don't hang for a lot of brain neck and waiting. Now people actually look at us as soon. But now at the end of the day, even our friends the way they even advise we. When they bring the only thing for counteract way people their opinion be their best opinion. They are not even before we don't be to say me they dissolve IGs. May they dissolve any government, but may they figure them, try to talk together. May they figure they try to talk together. May they get one mob. May they get one mob. They be talking about and not talk, and now they talk about they dissolve. We not get consent for them because they all not the chop. No problem that. Now they talk about decide when even the lockdown be CB na solution. So when I declaring at least na one lockdown all man. No man no can't talk that one. Anyone one show na power. See the point so. When I see one show na those powers. It really be very shameful. Serious. It really be shameful. You guys are not even concerned about our dying population. People are dying. People are dying and people will still die. We know that. But for sure, this call, they don't call them. We don't be on a problem. I think we will stick on it for all these organizations to be dissolved. Even if it comes to the situation, it has been dissolved even already. It already be dissolved from the one. Will not be declared. It don't be dissolved. Now consider it dissolved. Yes.